You have stated your pledges and you've made those goals. And now I want to welcome you officially to your Breast Cancer 3-Day.
More than 3,000 women and men are recovering today after having walked 60 miles in 3 days. They were part of the Philadelphia 3-Day, one of 18 such events held all over the country throughout the year. And I'm proud to say I was one of them once again this year, along with some great ladies, my friends, my team members, Team Fellowship. They are with us here tonight. Hi, guys. We're excited to share our experience with you, but even more so, we can't wait to hear about yours. Start calling us right now as we take a look back at the 2008 Philadelphia Breast Cancer 3-Day.
The Emmy Award-winning It's Your Call with Lynn Doyle devotes this hour to promoting breast cancer awareness. And it starts right now.
It was a virtual sea of pink, a moving tribute to the fight to end breast cancer. It was this year's 3-day breast cancer walk, and it was once again an amazing experience. Hi there, everyone. I'm Lynn Doyle, and I am so glad that you could join me once again as we continue our month-long breast cancer series. You know, it's a topic that is near and dear to my heart because my mother is a breast cancer survivor. This hour, we're taking a look back at the 2008 Philadelphia Breast Cancer 3-Day Walk. That's where we walked 60 miles in 3 days. It's an inspirational event that I had the privilege to take part in for the 3rd time. Myself, along with the 7 fabulous ladies that make up this year's Team Fellowship, joined more than 3,100 others in raising money and public awareness about breast cancer. Many walked for a loved one who is a survivor or for a loved one that they had lost. Survivors walked for themselves, celebrating a victory over breast cancer. And some people just walk because they believe it's a great cause and it's a personal challenge. We're going to be hearing from a variety of folks throughout the next hour. And of course, we'll also hear from my team, which is made up of Tess McGrath, Mary Matheson, Leah Matheson, Lisa Lowe, Diane Karam, Sandy Steppa, and Becky Fishman. They're going to tell us all about their personal experiences. That's coming up in just a moment. But most importantly, we want to hear from you. So if you've ever walked in a 3-day, if you did it this year, or even if you're thinking about doing it and you have questions or concerns, go ahead and give us a call. We have some questions for you. We'd like to know if you have somehow been impacted by breast cancer. If so, please share that story with us. We want to know if you walked in the Philadelphia or any other 3-day, and if you have a story or a comment about that, we'd love to hear from you as well. As you know, this is one of the most popular shows that we do throughout the month of October, so we'd love to have your input on it. The telephone lines are open. You can call us. It is toll-free from wherever you are watching all over the country. You can also email us at cn8.tv, and you know what? Later on, we're going to tell you how you can get a free copy of the DVD that we're putting together on the Philadelphia 3-Day. Also, very importantly, coming up later, our CN8 medical correspondent, Dr. Rob Danoff, will be here to answer any questions that you might have about breast cancer. So we advise you to take advantage of his expertise. Start calling us with those questions now. First, though, right off the top, let's get the latest update on just how successful this walk in Philadelphia was. For that, we go to the telephone where I'm joined by Janae Fromm, who is the national spokesperson for the Breast Cancer 3-Day. She is joining us live on the telephone from Kansas City, Missouri. Hey, Janae, how are you?
I'm great, Lynn. How are your feet?
Oh, my feet are wonderful. Thank you. In fact, Dr. Rob just took a look at them. He said he couldn't believe I walked 60 miles on them. How about yours?
You know what? My feet are doing good, although I tied my shoes too tightly on Saturday, and so they're a little angry at me today.
Well, it was worth it, though, right?
Absolutely. Every pain is worth it, as you know. Tell
me about this Philadelphia 3-Day that we're talking about and focusing on in this hour. Just how successful was it?
Lynn, I was blown away. You know, last year the Philly Walk raised $6.2 million. This year, you guys blew it out of the water. $8.1 million raised just in Philly.
That's amazing, particularly given this economic climate that we're living in and the stress that people are experiencing when it comes to the dollar figures. Why do you think people are still so generous when it comes to breast cancer?
Well, you know, I mean, people keep saying that we're in bad, you know, economic times. I'm on the road with the 3-Day, and I haven't seen it yet because of how generous people are. I think that there's a couple reasons. One is that they see that we're making difference and we're making huge advances in breast cancer. Mm-hmm. The other is kind of a sad reason in that we've all been touched by it, you know, whether it's your mom or my grandmother. And a lot of us have multiple connections to breast cancer, and so everybody wants to do something. And if they don't walk, they know that they're giving their money to a good cause.
Well, let's talk about how that money is used. $8.1 million alone just this weekend in Philadelphia. Add that to the numerous walks that are held all over the country, and you guys are making a lot of money. How is it being used?
Yeah. Well, last year alone, the event raised $86 million, and numbers have been up in all of our cities, so we're going to top that this year. I just know we are. 85% of those proceeds go to Susan G. Komen for the Cure, and you know how successful they have been in breast cancer research. I mean, there's not been a single advancement in the treatment of breast cancer in the last 25 years that Komen hasn't touched in some way. So the money is going to those causes that make it. And then there's a certain portion that will stay locally right there in Philly and help fund community outreach programs and getting treatments to underserved women and things like that.
And more people are coming out to walk as well. I think the numbers were pretty high this year, 3,100 in Philadelphia alone.
3,100, up from 2,300 last year. I mean, that's a phenomenal jump. I just think we're on a roll. Who knows what's going to happen next year?
Well, you know what? We'll keep promoting it here and telling people what a great cause it is and how much fun it is, and hopefully we will get those numbers up even higher.
Well, it's not too soon to start training, as you know, Lynn. So
oh, girlfriend, take a breath. Nobody's talking about training today for next year, I guarantee it. But
okay,
it's good
well,
advice.
Tell your team's allowed to take today off. But
okay.
I expect to see them out there tomorrow.
All right, I gave them today off. I'll tell them that. Janae Fromm, thanks so much for being with us. It was great to see you again. And let me tell you, you did a great job in the opening and particularly in that closing ceremony.
Thank you, Lynn.
All righty. Janae Fromm, the national spokesperson for the National 3-Day. Now, those people I mentioned, the opening ceremonies, those who are asked to participate in it are extraordinary men and women, many of which have come an especially long way to be part of it. It's Your Call contributor Kevin Walsh now tells us about a team of sisters who are determined to change the course of their family history to one that bears breast cancer no more.
What could be so compelling to evoke such an emotional reaction from this team of sisters participating in the opening ceremonies of the Breast Cancer 3-Day? Just like a long, long walk, their story is truly a journey.
The name of our team is Sisters for Sisters, and the reason we named it that is because me and my sisters formed a team to walk in the 3-Day.
So we're ready for tomorrow.
I'm on the Sisters for Sisters team. It's 15 wonderful women, and 5 of them are my sisters, and we have 5 survivors, and the other 10 women are fabulous to go through this, and we are just having a wonderful time walking.
And I know my mom would be so proud, and my sister Joan, and she was very close to me. So.
Few families have a personal story as powerful as the Cyberlick sisters. Of the 5 sisters, 3 have had breast cancer. Sister Joan died from it. She was just 37 years old and had young girls. Joan missed seeing her girls Anne and Alice grow up into beautiful young women. Ellen had 2 bouts with breast cancer 9 years apart and survived. Liz once, and she's still going strong. The other siblings have had better luck with health, but plenty of grief to go around them. The sister's mother died from breast cancer complications when she was 36. With that kind of family history, the siblings were all tested for the BRCA breast cancer gene. 3 were positive, 3 were negative. With that kind of a track record, it's hard not to embrace a cause.
For me, it's a great feeling to spend 3 days with my sisters. Breast cancer has really impacted our lives since we were young children, and I think it's our turn to finally give back, and spending 3 days with your best friends is just incredible.
Doing this with my sisters is probably the most closest we've ever been.
Oh, doing this walk means that someday we will not have cancer in our vocabulary.
Alice still can't believe they were chosen to play such a big part in the opening and closing ceremonies.
It was very, very nice and very touching, and my sisters are thrilled. Thrilled, thrilled, thrilled. And I am too, but it's really nice.
And emotional. But that comes with the territory. When you've come as far as these women have and have tried vicariously to live through their stories of life, death, and redemption, it's impossible not to get emotional. You almost